Seniors, I'm 91 years old, and I want to tell you something most people never admit out loud, something I learned the hard way after decades of loving, giving, hoping, and trusting. After 60, you begin to see life with a clearer lens, and whether you like it or not, you discover that family, no matter how precious, is not always the strongest pillar you can lean on. I spent years believing that love, blood, and shared history would be enough to hold me up in my final chapters. But life after 60 doesn't always unfold the way we pictured it. People get busy. Priorities change. The world keeps moving even when your life gets quieter. And that's when I realized something that shook me to my core, something that Harvard researchers later confirmed after following more than 85,000 older adults for over 20 years. The seniors who stayed sharp, happy, independent, and emotionally alive were not the ones surrounded by the most family visits. They were the ones who built strong, steady pillars of support outside of family. Those pillars lowered their risk of memory decline by nearly 70% and helped them live longer, fuller years. That's why in this video, we will reveal the 6 essential pillars that become stronger than family after 60. And stick around because pillar number 2 has been shown to protect the brain, extend life, and prevent emotional collapse more effectively than any family support ever recorded in aging research. References and studies are listed in the description if you'd like to explore them after watching. Before we dive in, here's a quick question for you. Where are you watching from? And what has been your biggest challenge after turning 60? Is it loneliness, purpose, strength, or something else? I'll be reading and responding to as many comments as I can, because your story might help someone else who needs to hear it. Now, without any further delay, let's begin with pillar number 6, because the sooner you build these supports, the sooner your heart and mind can stand tall again. Number 6, professional support networks. The 6th pillar might surprise you because most people think of professional support as cold or clinical. But research from Johns Hopkins reveals that having the right professional team after 60 creates a foundation that amplifies every other form of support in your life. Professional support isn't just about having a good doctor, though that's certainly part of it. It's about creating a constellation of experts who understand the unique challenges of aging and can spot problems before they become crises. The key here is building relationships with professionals who see you as a whole person, not just a collection of symptoms or problems to solve. Start by finding a primary care physician who specializes in geriatric medicine, or at least has significant experience with older adults, because they understand that a symptom at 65 means something entirely different than the same symptom at 35. Beyond medical professionals, consider adding a financial advisor who specializes in retirement planning, because financial stress is one of the biggest threats to well-being after 60, and having someone who can help you navigate everything from Medicare to estate planning reduces anxiety significantly. The research shows that older adults who have regular check-ins with mental health professionals, even when they're not in crisis, show 40% better emotional resilience over time. To maximize this pillar, schedule regular appointments even when you feel fine, because these professionals can spot patterns you might miss. Create a communication system where all your professionals can coordinate if needed. Many older adults benefit from giving permission for their doctor to speak with their therapist or their financial advisor to coordinate with their attorney. The mistake most people make is waiting until there's a problem to build these relationships, but the time to find a good accountant isn't April 14th, and the time to find a good doctor isn't when you're sick. Start building these relationships now. Interview multiple professionals until you find ones who listen well and respect your autonomy, and don't be afraid to switch if someone isn't meeting your needs. Remember that these professionals work for you, and you deserve ones who make you feel heard, respected, and empowered rather than dismissed or rushed. You've built your professional foundation, but the next pillar will revolutionize how you think about learning after 60. Number 5, interest-based communities. The 5th pillar shatters the myth that you can't teach an old dog new tricks, because UCLA's neuroscience department found that adults over 60 who joined interest-based communities showed brain plasticity levels similar to people 20 years younger. Interest-based communities are groups of people who come together around shared passions, hobbies, or curiosities, and they provide something family often cannot: the excitement of discovery with people who truly get your enthusiasm. Whether it's a book club that debates literature over wine, a hiking group that explores new trails every weekend, a cooking class where you master Thai cuisine, or an online forum dedicated to genealogy research. These communities offer intellectual stimulation wrapped in social connection. The magic happens because when you're engaged in something you're genuinely interested in, your brain releases dopamine and norepinephrine, neurotransmitters that not only make you feel good but actually help form new neural pathways, keeping your mind sharp and adaptive. The University of Edinburgh tracked 5,000 older adults and found that those in interest-based communities showed 50% slower cognitive decline over 10 years compared to those who socialize only with family. To tap into this pillar effectively, start by making a list of things you've always wanted to try or subjects that fascinate you. Then search for local groups through community centers, libraries, colleges that offer senior auditing programs, or online platforms like Meetup. Don't limit yourself to traditional senior activities if they don't excite you. If you want to join a motorcycle club, learn Korean, or start a punk rock band, go for it. The key is consistency and depth. Showing up regularly to the same group builds relationships that go beyond surface level, creating friends who share your passions and can engage with parts of your personality that family might never see. Many people find that interest-based communities become their primary source of new friendships after 60, because unlike work relationships that often fade after retirement, these connections are built on genuine shared enthusiasm. The beautiful thing about interest-based communities is that they're naturally inclusive. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or expert, if you're rich or poor, if you're 60 or 90. What matters is your shared curiosity and willingness to engage. Your mind is staying sharp through shared interests. But the next pillar addresses something even more fundamental to your well-being. Number 4. Peer support groups. The fourth pillar recognizes a profound truth that Boston University's psychology department confirmed through 15 years of research. Sometimes the most powerful support comes from people who truly understand what you're going through because they're going through it too. Peer support groups bring together people facing similar life challenges, whether that's retirement adjustment, grief and loss, chronic illness management, caregiving responsibilities, or simply navigating the changes that come with aging. Unlike therapy, where there's a professional-client dynamic, peer support groups create a circle of equals where everyone's experience is valued and everyone both gives and receives support. The Stanford Medical School study that tracked 10,000 participants found that older adults in peer support groups showed 60% better management of chronic conditions and reported significantly higher life satisfaction scores, even when facing serious health challenges. The power lies in what researchers call experiential knowledge. When someone who's actually lived through losing a spouse tells you how they survived the first year, it carries weight that well-meaning advice from others simply cannot match. These groups provide practical strategies that you won't find in any book, like how one member discovered that grocery shopping at 2 p.m. on Tuesdays meant avoiding crowds and having energy for the rest of the day, or how another learned to navigate the overwhelming paperwork after their partner's death by tackling just one form each morning with their coffee. To find the right peer support group, start by checking with local hospitals, senior centers, religious organizations, and national organizations focused on specific conditions or situations. Online groups have exploded in popularity and can be especially valuable if you have mobility limitations or live in a rural area, with platforms like Facebook, Reddit, and specialized forums offering communities for everything from widowhood to Parkinson's disease. The key to maximizing benefit from peer support groups is finding one with the right fit. Some groups are more structured with facilitators and specific topics each week, while others are informal coffee gatherings where conversation flows naturally. Don't be discouraged if the first group you try doesn't feel right. It often takes trying 2 or 3 before you find your people. Once you find a good group, commit to attending regularly even when you don't feel like it, because consistency builds trust and deeper connections that become lifelines during tough times. Peer support validates your experiences, but the next pillar offers something uniquely powerful for your sense of purpose. Number 3. Reciprocal relationships. The third pillar revolutionizes how we think about support after 60, because Yale's groundbreaking research proved that relationships where you both give and receive support are astronomically more beneficial than those where you're only on the receiving end. Reciprocal relationships are those beautiful connections where the support flows both ways, Maybe you help your neighbor with their garden while they help you with technology, or you exchange childcare duties for grandchildren with another grandparent, or you and a friend take turns driving to medical appointments. The neuroscience behind this is fascinating. When we help others, our brains release oxytocin and serotonin, chemicals that reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, and actually repair cellular damage from stress. The MacArthur Foundation's massive study on successful aging found that older adults with strong reciprocal relationships lived an average of 5 years longer and maintained independence significantly longer than those who were primarily care recipients. The key insight here is that after 60, many people fall into the trap of becoming only receivers of support, especially from family, which can create feelings of burden and uselessness that accelerate decline. Reciprocal relationships restore the balance, reminding you that you have valuable things to offer regardless of your age or physical limitations. To build these relationships, start by taking inventory of your skills, knowledge, and resources. Everyone has something to offer, whether it's decades of professional expertise, cooking skills, a good listening ear, or simply the time and patience that younger people often lack. Look for natural opportunities for exchange in your existing relationships rather than forcing it. Perhaps you could offer to teach your young neighbor to knit in exchange for help with yard work, or share your business expertise with a friend starting a company in exchange for tech support. The most successful reciprocal relationships often start organically. Maybe you and another dog owner start walking together every morning, naturally beginning to support each other through life's ups and downs while maintaining that fundamental equality. Community time banks are formalized systems for reciprocal support where you earn credits helping others that you can spend on getting help yourself. And many communities now have these programs specifically for older adults. The beautiful thing about reciprocal relationships is they combat two major threats to well-being after 60 simultaneously: isolation and feeling useless, because you're both connected and contributing. Reciprocal support restores your sense of purpose, but the next pillar takes community connection to an entirely different level. Number 2, chosen family. The second pillar represents one of the most profound shifts in how we understand relationships after 60, validated by Columbia University's 20-year study, showing that chosen family relationships often provide more emotional support and practical help than biological family. Chosen family consists of those friends who become so close they transcend typical friendship boundaries, becoming the people you call at 3 a.m. during a crisis, who show up with soup when you're sick without being asked, who include you in their holiday celebrations and major life decisions. These relationships develop through a combination of proximity, shared values, mutual care, and most importantly, choice. You choose each other repeatedly, not out of obligation, but out of genuine love and respect. The research is staggering. Older adults with strong chosen family relationships show 80% lower rates of depression, report feeling understood and accepted at rates 50% higher than those relying primarily on biological family, and demonstrate better recovery outcomes from major health events. The reason chosen family can be more powerful than biological family lies in the element of choice itself. These people are in your life because they want to be, not because they have to be, which creates a different quality of connection free from old resentments, obligatory interactions, or complicated history. Building chosen family after 60 requires intentionality and vulnerability, starting with deepening existing friendships by sharing more of yourself, initiating regular contact beyond casual encounters, and explicitly expressing care and commitment. Look for people who share your values and life stage, who make you feel energized rather than drained, who celebrate your victories and show up for your struggles, and who you genuinely enjoy spending time with even in silence. The process often starts with 1 or 2 people and grows organically. Maybe it's the couple you met at a grief support group who now join you for Sunday dinners, or the former colleague who became your travel companion and confidant, or the neighbor who started as someone you waved to and became the person who has a key to your house. To nurture chosen family relationships, create rituals and traditions together like weekly coffee dates or monthly potlucks. Be willing to have difficult conversations when needed rather than letting resentments build. And most importantly, tell these people explicitly that they're your chosen family, because naming the relationship strengthens it. The most successful chosen families after 60 often include people of different ages, creating intergenerational connections that bring different perspectives and types of support. Chosen family provides deep emotional connection, but the number one pillar will absolutely transform how you think about support after 60. Number 1. Community integration. The number one pillar, confirmed by Stanford's revolutionary 25-year longitudinal study to be 3 times more effective at preventing depression and isolation than regular family contact, is deep community integration. Not just living in a community, but becoming woven into its very fabric. Community integration means you're not just a resident, but a recognized, valued, contributing member of your neighborhood or town. Where the barista knows your order, the librarian saves books for you, fellow regular walkers notice if you miss a day, and local shopkeepers ask about your grandchildren. This level of integration creates what sociologists call weak ties, connections that aren't intimate like family or close friends, but provide crucial social scaffolding that makes you feel held by your community. The Harvard Study of Adult Development, the longest-running study on human happiness, found that older adults with high community integration scores showed remarkable resilience during crisis, recovering from losses 65% faster and maintaining cognitive function years longer than those who were socially isolated even with family support. The biological impact is stunning. Regular community interaction triggers the release of endorphins and reduces cortisol levels consistently throughout the day, rather than in spurts like with occasional family visits, creating a sustained anti-inflammatory effect that protects against everything from heart disease to dementia. True community integration after 60 means becoming a regular at local establishments, joining community organizations not just as a member, but as an active participant or leader, volunteering for causes that matter to you where you see the same people regularly, and participating in local governance, whether that's attending town halls or joining the condo board. The key is consistency and visibility, showing up to the farmer's market every Saturday, attending the same exercise class 3 times a week, becoming a fixture at community events until people notice and ask when you're absent. To build this integration, start by picking 1 or 2 regular activities and committing completely, introducing yourself to people you see regularly even if it feels awkward at first, and looking for ways to contribute your skills to community needs. Many older adults find that becoming a community elder, someone younger people turn to for advice, historical knowledge, or steady presence, provides a sense of purpose and belonging that family relationships alone cannot match. The most integrated older adults often layer multiple connection points. They shop locally and know the staff, participate in civic organizations, volunteer regularly, attend cultural events, use community services like libraries and recreation centers, and maintain visibility in public spaces. This creates a web of connections so robust that support appears naturally without having to ask. Someone notices you haven't been to the library and checks in. A fellow volunteer offers a ride when your car breaks down, or the pharmacist alerts you to a new program that could help with medication costs. These 6 pillars work together synergistically, creating a support system that research proves is not just helpful, but literally life-saving after 60. The path forward isn't about choosing one pillar, but building all 6 gradually, starting with whichever feels most accessible to you right now. Your future self will thank you for every connection you make today, because in the end, the quality of your later years depends less on your bank account or health status, and more on the richness of your social fabric. Thank you so much for watching today's video on the 6 essential pillars of support after 60. If this information opened your eyes to new possibilities for connection and support, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming videos on thriving in your golden years. Remember, it's never too late to build the support system you deserve. Thanks again for watching.